Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is NAKIE. Thank you so much for stopping by. On today's menu we are making party style palm nut soup in miwono or Abenkwan. Let's get started. We have our ginger and onions. I'm gonna blend all together and we're gonna use that to season our meat. And this is my goat meat. Feel free to use any kind of meat you prefer. So I blended my ginger and onion and I'm gonna pour this onto the meat, and this is gonna help it to season really good. I have this goat meat seasoning. Yeah, feel free to use any seasoning that you prefer. I also added mushroom tablet. If you have any seasoning, just feel free to use that. If you don't like it, just omit this. You don't have to use it if you don't like it. And I'm using this complete video seasoning. So I added some water to it, and this water is also going to help it cook it really faster because I want my meat to be really tender. I covered this, and this is going to cook for about 15 minutes. So whilst our meat is cooking, I'm using this Praise Palm Cream. Feel free to use any type or any brand that you prefer. Our meat has been cooking for about 15 minutes now, and all that is from the ginger and onion, guys. It's still good, okay? Just in case you've not seen that, when you cook your meat, it's just from the ginger and onion. So the meat was so tough, so I'm gonna cover it and let it cook for additional 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, my meat is good. It's not that tender, but that is fine because I'm going to cook it more when I add the cream to it. So I don't want to like really soft, because otherwise my meat is going to melt and I won't have anything to bite on. So that is fine. I'm adding my palm cream to the meat. So I've used this brand before, so I don't need to like put hot water in it and let it soak till all that black thing settles at the bottom. Some of the palm cream, it has that kind of blackish thing in it, so you always want to make sure you soak it in like a little bit of hot water and let it settle before you pour it onto your soup. If you're not sure, then do that before you do it. But I've used palm cream, the praise type, and I know this, so I'm like, let me get straight into it, because when I did it the first time I soaked it and there was nothing at the bottom. But if you're not sure, just do it. And if you're not even comfortable, just still do it. It's all to your preference. I know there wasn't nothing at the bottom, so I just poured it right into the soup. So I added enough water to the soup. Feel free to add any amount to your soup. If you want it thick, yeah, just add less. But I don't want like thick PALMNUT soup, so I added enough to the soup. I'm now adding my vegetables to it. That's my scotch bonnet pepper, my onions, and my fresh tomatoes. So I'm gonna cook the vegetables till it's all tender. I'm gonna take it out, blend it, and pour it back into the soup. This is a simple recipe. PALMNUT soup is really one of the easiest soup to make. So yeah, this is how I make my party style PALMNUT soup. So as you can see, my onions, everything is ready. Vegetables are ready. If you want to make sure it is ready, you could tell from the skin coming up from the tomatoes, and that tells you it is ready to come up. So I'm going to take this out and just blend everything, pour it back into the soup. Another way you could also boil your vegetable is just boil it on the side, not in the soup, and when it's ready you blend it. But I just want the easier way, just put everything back in the soup, take it out, blend it, and put it back. But hey, however you're comfortable with, just do it. All right. And yeah, now everything goes into the soup. And guys, can you see that oil, that red oil from that soup? It is a win-win for me. I have my soup and I have oil. I love making palm soup because one thing I get is the oil, guys, and this oil is flavored. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. You could use it for your stews, anything you want to use your palm oil for, just use it because it's flavored and it tastes good, especially when you use it for your consomme, a bomb garden, egg stew, and all that. Yes, so it's a win-win for me. So I covered this and let this cook for about 10 minutes. And now I'm going to be adding my fish to it. I have my big mackerel and that is going to go into the soup really soon. And if you don't like mackerel, just use any type of fish you prefer, or just use any protein you prefer. I just love some mackerel in my palmnut soup. And look at that, this is so beautiful. Look at how it's boiling. Look at how the fish just goes straight into it. Oh my god, this soup was good. It's beautiful and it tastes good. So I gave this a stir and I tested if I need more seasoning, and yes I did. I added some salt to it and I added some ginger powder and all-purpose seasoning. Just feel free to use any seasoning that you prefer. And this is my ginger powder. I'm also going to add this Bedia complete seasoning. As I said, use any seasoning that you prefer. This is what I have, this is what I love, and this is what I'm using. So just feel free to use any seasoning that you prefer. And our stew is almost done, guys. I'm just going to use this spatula to scrape all that side. That side, guys, it's all flavored. Do not throw that part away. That all flavor. So make sure you scrape that side and put it back into the soup. Our soup is done. This has been cooking for about an hour now. And yes, it is time for me to scoop off all that oil on top. But before we do that, you want to turn off your heat or just put it on the low setting. But I turned mine off, and that's it. It's time for us to scoop off that goodness, that flavored oil on top. Because it's a lot of oil on top, it's so easy to scoop it. And I just love watching this at this point. It's kind of satisfying to me. So I'm just going to be quiet so you can watch this. Maybe if it's satisfying to you too. was that, guys. I love watching that part. I hope you did too. And our soup is ready. Yes, we are done with our soup. And look at all the oil I got from the palm nut. This is a win-win situation. A good tasting soup and a good palm oil, flavored palm oil for my other palm nut oil recipes. And yes, guys, I enjoyed some of this soup with fufu and it was good. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This is Nike. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Until I come your way next time, this is Cook with Nike. Be good to yourself, be good to everybody. It goes a long way.